Good evening, everyone. I'm going to pull everybody in real quick, but before we do, if you will look on the screen, we've got a special guest in here tonight. Miss Detectorist UK is in the house, and we're going to be talking with her live from England. So let's bring her in and let's put this show in motion. So there we are. How about it, guys? How are you doing tonight?
Hello, good evening.
All right.
We
are so excited to have you in here. And we were talking a little bit off screen before we get going, and we're going to do some shout outs in just a minute. But we were talking off screen, and I was telling you why I wanted you on this program. And the main thing is I love your enthusiasm. I love your knowledge about history. I love what you're doing. I think you're a fascinating person over there in the UK that's doing some fantastic metal detecting. And I wanted to bring you in, and I wanted you to talk about the Deus 2 and some things about the Deus 2 that you really like and you enjoy. So we're going to let you explain all of that really, really soon. But we're super excited to have Miss Detectorist UK. Go check her channel out. She is on Instagram and YouTube. You can find her there. Go give her a subscribe. She was gracious enough. It's after 12 a.m. It's 12:30 a.m. right now in the UK.
Thank you for letting me prove that I can still stay up this late. Right,
Yeah.
Michael, so kind of
Well, I feel that way too now. Honestly, I'm an older guy. I'm not that old, but I'm an older guy. So sometimes my bedtime comes real quick in a hurry. Michael's a lot younger than I am, so
I've still got it. You know, it's 12:30 here, and I'm still up. So
yeah, well, that's great. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to be here, and I know there are a lot of people that are glad to have you in here. And History Digger says you're a fantastic artist too. We're going to let you talk a little bit about your artwork too. And so on. Doug Atkins says, don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, hit that like button. Ellie's going to tell us some fascinating stuff, and she's going to tell us about her adventures over in the UK, what she's finding, what she's using on that Deus 2. So we're real excited to hear from Miss Detectorist UK. But before we do, as always, Miss Detectorist UK, we always do. Do you mind me calling you by your name?
You can call me Ellie.
Okay, Ellie. All right.
It's a bit long, isn't it, Miss Detectorist?
Yes. Yeah, that's a long way. So this is Ellie, and we're super excited about Ellie being in here with us tonight. But we're going to give a couple of shout outs, as we always do, because we appreciate each and every one of our viewers being in here with us tonight. We've got History Digger, one of my good buddies, Mr. Rob, is in here with us. Trevor Von Horn, glad to have him in here. He is a new member to our channel and signed up for our membership, and we appreciate him being in here with us tonight. Mr. Old Pelon, always super excited to have him. Dirt Devil Detecting, and hopefully you checked out my community page as we posted the remote control holder, and we'll tell Ellie about that in just a second. But he's got a great remote holder for the Deus 2 to keep you from losing your remote. And we're going to show that in a minute. Of course, Mr. Michael, Mr. NC Relic Hunter down there with us. Mr. Chris, always super excited to have Chris with us. Mr. Dwayne Cron, glad to have you, Dwayne. Rito Marcella is in the house. Glad to have Rito. Rito's coming from us live from Ireland. Yeah. How about that? Yeah, cool. So over there near you, Ellie.
Yeah.
DK1 Detect is in here. Glad to have him. Mr. LC Hunt, glad to have him in here with us tonight. Tesh Ridge Digger is in the house with us. Appreciate Tesh Ridge Digger joining in. Mr. Danny N, he says, hello, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Danny N. Steve Dorothy, I think is how you say it. Appreciate you being in here with us tonight. Mr. Patrick Parker, and hopefully Patrick got his patch. Let me know, Patrick, if you got it. Let's see who else. Mr. Metal Detecting Texas, Matt, we survived the tropical storm. I think we fared better than you guys did down in Texas, but glad to have Matt in here. Metal Detecting Texas, and let's see who else we got so many people in here. Workman's Adventure, glad to have him in here with us. Mr. Jack Bellamy is in here, glad to have Jack. Edward G is in the house. Glad to have him. Sniff It Out is with us. Glad to have Sniff It Out. Don't Tread on Me. Always super excited for him to be here with us tonight. And we're going through them all. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. Mr. Digging Dude himself. And thank you for sending me that email, Digging Dude. And I am taking a look at that stuff. USMC 615. Glad to have him. Mark Trailer is in the house. Glad to have Mark. DS Metal Detecting. Glad to have DS. Mr. Doug Atkins, who we mentioned earlier, but glad to have him with us. Always super supportive of the channel. Mr. Ricky Bennett is in here with us. Mr. Lance McElwain, always super excited to have Lance with us. Mr. Kerry Pope is in the house with us. Johnny Rum is in the house. I like Johnny Rum's name. I could use some rum about now. How about you, Ellie?
Yeah, I could do that. I've only got water.
Mr. Sodfather is in the house. Kevin Wood is in here with us. We got a full house, Ellie, which you can tell. Carrie Pope is in here. The Key Date Kid is in here. Glad to have you in here tonight. My main man, Mr. DCM Detects, live from South Carolina. Glad to have him. Papa Van is in here with us. Lou R is in here with us tonight. Johnny Rum, thank you so much for the donation. All donations go straight back to the channel, and they help us bring some amazing guests like Miss Detectorist UK over here. We're super excited to have her. Golden Dredger is in the house. Lance McElwain says, can she pant 2 medieval knights jousting with their Deus metal detectors?
That sounds like a job for AI to me.
Dwayne says what I just said. He said, your finds are great, but your enthusiasm and knowledge keeps him watching.
Oh, thanks,
there
Dwayne.
you go. So yeah, they're definitely picking up on it. Bobby Short is in the house. Glad to have Bobby. Finders Keepers is in the house. Teresa, the treasure hunter, is in here. Glad to have Teresa. Teresa joined in with our show a couple of weeks ago, and we appreciate her. We've got, let's see who else. BK is in the house. Glad to have you, BK. 13 inches of total rain. Wow, it's a lot. We got a lot of rain. We got more rain last night than we did the entire tropical storm, and the tropical storm was already gone, which was crazy. And we live on the BK lives on the beach close to where I live. I'm only a mile from the beach, Ellie, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay, so about the same as me.
Yeah, Metal Detecting Georgia. Glad to have him in the house. I think I've gotten through everybody. I'm trying not to miss anybody. Team Lynch. Glad to have him in here. Appreciate you being here tonight. And I think we're down to the bottom finally. And Digging Daryl. Digging Daryl's one of our main supporters. Glad to have him as well. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I tried to go through that. We've got almost 50 people online right now watching us, and they are here to see you, Ellie. They're here to hear your adventures in the UK. So let's start with some real simple stuff, okay? Tell us a little bit about why you started metal detecting, because I know you're an artist. So what intrigued you about metal detecting and why you decided to begin that?
Do you know what? I think this goes back to being a kid growing up in the 80s and those films like The Goonies and Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, those films really captured my imagination. I was thinking about this actually earlier, you might ask me this, and I was remembering that me and my brother used to dig in our flower beds. We lived in the Roman city of Bath, if you have heard of that.
Yes.
And we used to dig in the back garden, and we found in the ground, someone had obviously chucked out an old chandelier. So we were digging up what we felt like were diamonds, you know, those massive crystals. This must have been a kind of Victorian chandelier. So it had tiny little brass hoops in it, but each stone, each cut piece looked like a diamond. And it's that kind of discovery started when I was really little. And I remember hearing about metal detectors it was the era of gadgets, wasn't it? The 80s.
Yes,
Like,
it was.
and I remember hearing
It's
about
out of the 80s too, Ellie. So
yeah. So we know about the 80s then, don't we, Brian?
yes.
But basically, I remember thinking I would absolutely love to have a metal detector, but at the time it wasn't something that you could easily access. There was nothing like YouTube. There was none of that stuff. So I did buy one. I bought one in the early 2000s, but I didn't get on with it at all. It was a Tesoro. Do you know
Yeah,
those?
Tesoro, yes.
Yeah, at the time I did some research. I thought that sounded like a good one, but when I got it, I just didn't know I couldn't, there was no support. There was no YouTube or anything like that. So I very quickly gave up on it and I sold it. And then I left it about another sort of 15 years. And as you say, I'm an artist, I'm a landscape artist. And part of the work that I do is I find a lot of objects along the shore. I work near the beach.
Okay.
And I paint the sea. So I like to find objects and make work on objects, or use the surfaces as inspiration for color and things like that. Anyway, I thought, well, it'd be really fun to have a go at metal detecting. And my art tutor at college told me that he was a detectorist. I was really surprised because he's like highly educated, very amazing artist, and he brought this little box of goodies in to show me. And in this box it just blew my mind. He showed me the first hammered coin that I'd ever seen.
Wow.
Incredible detail made by a medieval person, just beautiful silver coin. Both sides were in perfect condition. He showed me a Viking mount, looked like a dragon's head. He showed me a bar of gold, pure Bronze Age gold. Like, I'd never seen anything like it. The color of this thing was just unbelievable. And he said, look, you're welcome to borrow a detector, come out with me. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do it. And I actually didn't even get out with him because I just went straight home and ordered a detector online. It was Valentine's Day. I remember that. I bought myself a Valentine's Day gift.
Right.
The least romantic Valentine's Day gift ever bought, probably. But I bought myself a detector, and that was it.
Look, honestly, nobody would think that on here. They would think that was a great
Yeah.
I know. It's really sad, isn't it? It's really sad that we all think that. But yeah. So basically, I got myself a detector. I bought the Nocta Legend first of all, and I bought the whole kit, and it came with everything from the spade to the digging tool, the whole thing. And I went to my first dig in Cornwall, deepest, darkest Cornwall, which is the very, very bottom of the point that you see on the left of British Isles. And it's really a very rural place, but quite an interesting place. A lot of movement of people, particularly because there are a lot of tin mines there. It was very important in Europe as a place to source tin to make bronze. So from the earliest people, there have been people moving around in that part of Britain. So I was excited. I was like, I'm going to find something brilliant. I went along there. Number one, I was the only woman there, and I immediately felt like a fish out of water when I got there. Actually, I could feel my cheeks burning. I was embarrassed. When you get I imagine it's like this when you start something like fishing. You get all the kit, you got all the gear, no idea. Get out of the car. I didn't even know how to hold the gear. When you see people start to learn to ski and they just drop all their kit, and I was like that. And I just felt like such an idiot. I really did. And no one talked to me. I felt really, really embarrassed actually for the whole day. And I came away thinking, I've bought all this gear. I didn't find anything. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be welcome in this hobby. And luckily, since then, I've realised that everyone is welcome in this hobby. And I know that I'm a bit of I'm one of a small contingent of women, but definitely a growing one.
Right.
And we've got a lot to add to this hobby. And so I feel very strongly that I want to be an alternative voice,
right?
Different voice, different.
Well, and again, that was part of the reason why I wanted you on here, because I know, or I feel like I know what that struggle must feel like at times, and just seeing what you're doing and your enthusiasm for the hobby, and just going out and just pushing through and finding these great artifacts. And you're learning your machine as you go. When did you get a Deus 2? That's my next
So
question.
I was only about 6 months in, and I realised that my buddy, a guy who is using a Deus 2, was finding things that I wasn't finding. And I don't know if that was because I had a different machine or because I was much less experienced than him. Quite possibly it would be that, because I do believe that all the machines are designed to do essentially the same thing, aren't they? They're designed to detect metal in the ground. But I decided to go for the Deus 2, and I have not regretted it for one moment, because the minute it arrived and I unboxed it, I should probably say I'm an artist now, but I used to be work in product design. So I worked in research and development for technical products and fashion products. So I appreciate the aesthetic of objects, and this machine is just the most incredibly designed thing. It's the way it folds down into itself. I haven't done that because it's in its sort of full form. Then you know how it sort of slides into itself, and it looks like the Starship Enterprise when it's it's just so beautifully done, isn't it? How it goes so compact. Just the way it's been done, I think is so beautiful. One of the people, if you work in design, you'll know the name. There's a very famous German industrial designer called Dieter Rams, and he was in the 50s. He pulled together what he called his 10 principles of good design.
Sure.
And they were things like this: a product needs to be useful, it needs to be innovative, it should be aesthetically beautiful, but it should be no more than design than is necessary. It should be understandable. So all these things, which we now think of as very much really the kind of the way Apple design their products.
Right. Yeah.
Focused really on the user. And, you know, we all see it every day. Products that are kind of over-designed and technology for technology's sake just make it complicated for the user.
Right.
But this product, the Deus 2, every bit of tech in that product delivers a real benefit, a real life benefit to the user. And I really felt that as soon as I started using it.
Michael, what you want to ask?
Oh, I was just going to tell her, I bet that weight difference, you know, going to the Deus 2 was an eye opener. I mean, it's
a really interesting point, because that was one of the first things I noticed was it's not hugely different, the weight, but what is different is the distribution of the weight.
Right.
So the way that the machine has been designed means that I can swing. First of all, I can swing it probably 50% wider than I could swing my other machine. Right. What does that mean in reality? It means I can cover
more ground,
50% more ground in the same time, which means I can make 50% more finds. Like straight away, that's a massive benefit. Just that alone, that one thing alone.
And I know you watched the video with Philippe when Philippe came on here, and one of the things that he mentioned was about how the Deus 2 needed to be fast. You needed to be able to swing fast. You need to be able to go out and detect as much ground with minimal effort.
It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. You know, the more ground you can cover carefully and thoroughly, with absolute certainty that you haven't missed anything because you're worried your machine hasn't picked something up, which of course you get with the Deus 2. You feel like you are reading the ground and the ground is talking to you. So it's like a kind of two-way conversation that's happening.
It is. That's exactly
it. I'm still quite new to the machine. I've only had it now for about 7 or 8 months, and so we're still learning each other. I'm learning its language, I'm learning its sounds, and learning. I mean, you know, Brian, because you've helped me this week with a couple of my settings. Quite a little bit, feeling a little bit sort of nervous about tweaking the settings. And one of the things that I wanted in a machine is that I could literally take it out of the box, put the setting in, the normal ones, the programs, the presets, and thanks, Daryl. And I just wanted to be able to switch it on and just go, because I'm not somebody that really wants to have to fiddle about with it. I want to use my time to detect, and when I'm not detecting, I want to use my time to research my land and my objects. So it saves me time because it's so easy. It's just so easy. I absolutely love it. I can't big it up enough,
You
honestly.
bring up a great point, because a lot of people are under the impression that the DS2 is hard to use or hard to learn. And I know you were probably a little apprehensive when you first started with it, because you knew there were tons of
Well,
settings.
it was new to me, and I think when you're used to using another machine, I got used to the Nocta. I could hear the sounds. I got used to that. Then suddenly it's like listening to a different language. It's like learning a different language. And so I decided that I needed to total immersion. It's the best way to learn a language, by the way, and it's the best way to learn a new machine.
Exactly.
So I decided to literally spend as much time in my week, and usually I go out 3 or 4 times a week. I go out in all conditions, as you'll see from my videos.
Right, yeah. I love you going out in all conditions. That's really cool, because
it causes a lot of laughs for people, but it's actually really important to get to know your machine in different conditions. And sometimes,
that's right.
You get, when a rainstorm is coming and the air is thick with that kind of electric feel, I'm not saying go out in lightning, but I'm saying when you feel there's a storm on its way, you can almost smell the rain coming. That's when I really get great signals. So I like trying different times. Also, I live in the UK, so if I didn't go out in the rain, I'd never go out because it's always raining.
It's always raining in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah, most of the time. Although at the moment we've got a bit of a dry spell. It's either muddy and soggy and wet, and you just have to put all your wet gear on, or it's dry and the soil is so solid it becomes really difficult to dig. So it's like one extreme or the other. You've just got to get out and just get on with it, haven't you?
Yes, you do. And again, we're getting a lot of comments here. Digging Darrell says, "Thank you, Ellie, for staying up late to join the show tonight." Detective Smile says, "My wife loves the WS6 Master that he set up for her." I don't know if you ever used the WS6, but it's the smaller. It's the smaller version. It's the smaller version of the DS2.
Okay, yeah, all right. And does that attach to the stem, or do you?
It does. It goes right on. It goes right on your stem. If you have
I'll tell you what I like about the one that I have, although that is really neat and compact, and I can see that's yet another sort of weight saving thing, isn't it? And it's just so neat and compact. But I like the display that I have with the remote that I've got on my DS2, because while I'm an artist, I'm a visual person.
Right.
And I feel like the visual read combined with the audio, for me, is giving me so much more information than just hearing the sounds from the previous detector. So, I mean, the visual is important to me. And the other day, when you might have seen, I lost my remote in the field because
that's why I was going to say Dirt Devil Detecting has a great remote holder. Let me show it to you.
Okay, yeah, you're going to have to, because I, like an idiot, I ignored the manual and I didn't attach the little lanyard, which you must attach, everyone. If you haven't done it already, please do, because
so here's mine. Okay,
yeah. Okay.
So, but anyway, you can't knock that thing on.
Oh wow. Okay,
that's like that. And this is what it looks like. And it's one of the best ones that I've ever seen, and it really holds the remote in place.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's a whole attachment. Oh, that looks really cool. So you just screw that in as you would with the normal fitting.
Right.
And he's already, the good thing that I like that he did, he's already put the screw holes in there.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's really neat. I like that very much.
And you tighten
I lost mine in the field the other day. Luckily, thank God, I noticed very quickly.
I saw that video, and I was thinking of you when
it doesn't take many steps away from something that you dropped to be able to realize you've completely lost your track of where you've been.
That's a bad feeling, Ellie, and I know what that feeling is.
It really is. It makes you realize how easy it would be, for example, to get lost in unfamiliar terrain, because you think you know where you're headed and you turn around and there's no point of reference at all. Anyway, I dropped my remote on the floor, and basically, luckily, I found it again. But what was interesting is, as you continue to detect, of course, your coil is still talking to the remote. Right. Even though you're meters away from it, you're still hearing it merrily detecting away. And suddenly I noticed it wasn't there. So I must attach the lanyard or get something like you just showed me, because I'm quite, I don't know, I'm sort of thinking about what I'm doing, thinking about the stories of the people that have gone by. And then, you know, you don't want to be having to sort of worry about all your kit, do you?
Right. So
Maybe
go ahead,
on the
Mike.
Go Terrain app in the future, we can have a remote finder.
That's a good idea.
on
And
there.
I mean, even the
Yeah.
Go Terrain app, if I was using that all the time, it would have shown me where I'd been, and that would have
Right.
helped a lot.
Yeah.
But because I'm using my phone to video what I'm doing, and I don't want to lose battery by having a constant app running in
Right.
the background. So what I tend to do with the GPS trackers is I use them at the end of my detecting sessions, and I walk the perimeter of the area that I've just done,
Right.
so that I've got a kind of a record of where I've been is therefore all these kind of patchwork squares, so I can see if I've missed an area of the field.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
I've been using it like that, which I know is a bit like weird, but that's how I've been doing it.
Well, you can also attach the WS6 to the lock too, because they're so small. But again, these locking mechanisms I love, and you don't have to use the lanyard. This really holds it in very, very well. The Technic Smile wanted, all you got to do is email Dirt Devil Detecting, which he's on here, and he can put his email in the chat, and you can get one of these sent to you. And he has them slightly slanted, so you don't get that glare on your screen.
Yeah.
Ellie, I don't know if you've noticed that or not. Sometimes you'll get a glare that you can't see the screen.
Yeah, I have noticed it, and I've also noticed that polarized sunglasses are not good for detecting because the product that I used to be working with is sunglasses, and so I know a lot about lenses. So I don't know what you're wearing there, Brian, but they probably
these are cheapos.
But are they polarized? Because the thing is with polarized lenses is that they cut the glare off the screen, which sounds great, and it is great if you're driving in wet conditions or you're working on the beach or something like that, and you want to cut that kind of horrible glare that makes your eyes sore. But for us detectorists who are looking at a shiny screen, you cut the glare, you can't see any of the readout on the screen. So
I noticed that, Ellie. I've noticed the same thing.
Yeah, so you need to buy really kind of old school glasses that aren't polarized, and they're the better ones.
Hey, I'm old school anyway, Ellie.
I'm old school too. We're all old school.
We can all wear old school glasses, but this is a great feature to have. It's very well designed, very well made by Dirt Devil Detecting, and he's done a great job. He has a video actually showing this too up on his channel, so I'm gonna give him a plug. But I really enjoy mine. It holds it in place. If you were to go out into the ocean and the wave, you don't have to worry about it getting knocked off. If you drop it, down on the ground, you don't have to worry about it falling off and so on. It just makes it just so much better.
Idea.
And I've never worried about it ever again since I put that on my detector, which I agree. I think it's just wonderful. We got a few people in here. One guy I want to recognize is my man, Surfside Dan, who's down here with me in South Carolina. He's a big beach hunter, has found some amazing stuff, but glad to have him in here with us tonight. But not Dirt Devil Detecting Smile. If you want one of those remote holders, give Dirt Devil Detecting a shout, and he will get you hooked up for it. And he was on here, so maybe he's jumped off from it. There he is. He's on here right now. He's also got a nice cuff stand. And I've got that too. Or
that is another thing, isn't it? They do roll down hills.
See it?
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's
so when you set it down on the ground, guess what?
Yeah,
it sits straight up.
That's so cool, because I have thought that a number of times. Like, where's my detector gone? And it's gone. It's gone off down the hill. I mean, it's amazing how it rolls.
Right.
Yeah,
this let it sit flat on the ground so it doesn't flip over. You know how you drop it and it flips over?
Yeah. My detector gets a real battering because I get excited. As soon as I got a great signal, the detector's gone. I've chucked it on the ground, and I know I shouldn't treat it like that. And it's been good to me because it still works. But
hey, that's the other thing too about XP products. They're pretty durable too.
They are really durable, and I'm the test of that. I really am. I said when I bought it, I'm not going to treat this detector like I treated the last one. it's like boyfriends, isn't it? And but I have, I'm afraid.
Right. And then we've got one of our main sponsors on here, Mr. Flyrock too. We've been missing him lately. He's been on a big camping trip is what he keeps saying. But we're gonna share his information. If you're looking for any products, any metal detecting accessories here, you can definitely give Joel a shout and he will get you your products to you fast and quick. Mr. Joel Liebelt at Metal Detecting Buy, Sell, and Trade USA. And Joel will get you your products fast and quick. So reach out to Joel if there's anything on here that you're seeing, any machine that you're interested in, pinpoint or accessory, give Joel a shout and he can get that he can get those products to you very, very fast.
Also, Brian,
yes,
Casey with the Excalibur shovels is on here. The key,
oh yeah, we got
kid.
That, Michael. You were supposed to tell me that. So next weekend, and Ellie, you might want to tune in for this show too. Next weekend, we're going to have Excalibur shovels on here. He makes a fantastic shovel. Michael and I have just recently purchased those shovels from Excalibur. And of course, Ellie, you know a little bit about Excalibur over there in England, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Excalibur Shovels is going to be on with us next weekend. And then the weekend after that, we're sort of jumping ahead. We're going to have Nocta metal detectors on here. We're going to have Delic and Mark live with us, coming on live with us. And we're going to be talking all things Nocta, what Nocta's up to. I'm telling you, I think Nocta is on to something coming up big real soon. So you want to definitely stay tuned and make sure that you mark your calendar for that show, which I believe is August the 23rd. August the 16th, we're going to have Casey from Excalibur Shovels, who's going to be on here with us. And he's going to tell you all about his shovels and the great features and the great things about Excalibur Shovels that make it one of the best on the market. So stay tuned for both of those shows coming up real soon. So I wanted to mention that. And thank you, Michael, for reminding me. Again, Joel's down at the bottom. Any metal detecting accessory item, anything you need, Deus 2 products, XP products, MindLab, Nocta, Garrett, whatever it may be, give Joel a shout. He can get you hooked up. All right. Ellie.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit, what's one of your favorite programs that you use on the Deus 2? I know you've already sort of told me. I already know what you're going to say. But
yeah, I'm using a program which I've kind of set up for myself. Very simply, I say myself, I've actually had some help with it from somebody that knows the machine really, really well. And it's effectively based on the fast settings. It works really well for me in the fields that I'm detecting. So I've got about 10 really good permissions here in the UK. Everything from a coastal permission. I've got a 13th century church or the perimeter walls of the church. I've got ancient land, Bronze Age landscape up on Dartmoor. And then I've got these fields, which I call the Roman fields, which are just incredible. So quite a variety of different types of historical land. And so the fast settings are great for me because they work really well across all those different types of landscape. I've got a tiny tweak to that with the reactivity. I think it's been tweaked to 3. But otherwise, that's the one that I really like. My ears tuned into it, and I always go back to it. I've tried moving through all the different programs, and sometimes, like the other day when you kindly helped me, Brian, when I went to water detecting for the first time in a little stream, I did find that the general setting was really, really helpful. But I like the fast setting, so that's the one I'm using, and I'm sticking with it for now.
Right. Yeah. Fast setting is what I started with too, Ellie. So you're definitely on the right track.
I'm on the right track. I've been so lucky. I've had some good. I get so much guidance from all the subscribers on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram as well. Like the knowledge that we have as a sort of collaborative knowledge that we have as a community is so cool. I think in metal detecting, between people that know the tech, people that know the history, people that understand objects, people that know the rules about what you have to do when you find things that are important. There's someone that knows, and they are usually very, very willing to share. And I think that's a really wonderful thing about metal detecting. I'm sure you have very similar forums in the States.
We do.
Yeah,
This,
it's amazing.
This YouTube channel is really one big forum. So you can tell these guys are really into what they're doing. Of course, they're all responding right now to Excalibur coming on here, and now Luar. And does Luar know you? He says, I love the detecting community. And
yeah, I think it might. Yes, I think a different name on Instagram, but yeah, I think Lou found some amazing things yesterday and was sending me little images of what they were finding, and it was really exciting to watch.
So one of my good friends, Digging Daryl, says if you'll give me your address, he will send you one of those Dirt Devil Detectives remote.
Oh wow! Thank you so much, Daryl. That's so kind. I'd absolutely love to try that out, and I'd love to share that with.
Daryl is one of our great supporters of our channel too. Super nice guy. And he's been on here with us too as well, and I know how much it means to him, and he appreciates you being on here tonight.
Oh, that's really kind. Thanks, Daryl. I'd love to try that out, and I'd love to record myself testing that in the field and see how it works.
Yeah,
I'm a she, says Lou.
Luar says I'm a she.
Yes, another she. I think there's a few. There's a few.
There's a few. Yes, we have a few.
Great. Really great. It's so lovely to see the female contingent growing in this hobby, because I think everyone brings something different to the table, and it makes it more fun, I think.
So one of the questions is, do you prefer square tones, PWM, high square? What do you like?
I knew you were going to ask me this, because I was just listening to your conversation today with Philippe, and I thought I had to look it up. What's PWM? What's square tones? And I'm not sure that I can. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to answer this question. I think my understanding of it is that square tones kind of go like this when you're listening to it, and the other type sort of make a more smooth. You get lots of different, very subtle nuances of tone. Is that correct?
Right. So I'll give you a real quick breakdown. So PWM will probably give you the most tonal nuance. Square and high square will give you more, what I would say, more of a pleasant sound. If you've ever used a MindLab machine, it sort of sounds similar to the MindLab.
Or similar to the Legend that she.
Yeah, or similar to the Legend. So you can adjust those audio and adjust that audio. So if you ever need any help with any of that,
I might have to sort of play around with that a little bit before I can answer that question, Michael, because I'm just using. I'm not sure what my current settings are for that. What comes with the fast setting? Would you say which of those?
That would, I guess it would be. It's high square. Right.
It's high square. That's probably, I'm going to say that's probably where I'm comfortable. And when I flip between the different settings, I do always return to the fast setting, because I think my ear is tuned into that in a more natural way. But I guess depends what you're used to, doesn't it? And you try different things, because sometimes trying a new setting can open up a different, piece of land that you know really well, and suddenly you're like, whoa, there's more here that I didn't hear, so. Yeah.
Well, PWM, which I don't know. I mean, again, I know you're probably not familiar with PWM, but PWM gives you a little more tonal nuance. But the only thing with PWM is it's a little more sparky. It's going to give you a lot of pops and cracks and things like that. Whereas
and that can be quite tiring to listen to, can't it?
I get ear fatigue from
it. I do, and you start to zone out, and you start actually not even hearing the good stuff, because your ears are saying no, can't be dealing with this. So yeah, I think you have to find, it's probably quite a personal choice, isn't it, which you prefer, and which because what we really want to do is extend the time in which we can be comfortable detecting, and that's one of the reasons why for me the XP works, for the weight reasons, for the weight distribution, for the way it moves, and then also the comfort in your ear. If you can extend your day, then you can find more stuff. So I guess
exactly.
So, Ellie, which headphones do you use with the Deus? The full size?
I've got these. This is the
WSA2
WSA2, yeah.
XL.
So these, I chose these because I wear my hair up, and
Yeah.
I can't be dealing with a back phone getting in the
Right,
way of
right.
my hair. But that's just a personal choice. I like these. They're really comfortable. I mean, it's like you've got a cushion, basically. You've got a cushion on each ear and a cushion on the top. I could wear them all day. I love them. I think they're absolutely brilliant. But I know that
Yeah.
there's the back phone is, some people prefer the back phone, but those are the ones I like.
Right, right. And we like those. I love those during the winter, and I like the WS6 and the WSA2s, which are the small back phones during the
in
summer.
the summer. Yeah, I think it's good to have a kind of seasonal change up if you have got real sort of differences in the temperature. Really, here it's all kind of you know, what through the year, not huge variations. So the only thing I do is in the winter I just put a hat on underneath the headphones.
I like when you wear the toboggan. I like when you wear the stocking cap. And
I know.
Top.
I love wearing a hat. I'm always quite sad in the summer because it means I can't wear my usual beanie. But
Johnny Rum says he likes pitch. Pitch is great too. I started off with pitch and fast, which is you know, it's going to give you probably the most tonal nuances that you can possibly get out of that machine.
Right.
I hunt a lot of heavy iron. Michael does too, and that's where the Deus 2 will really shine, is the tonal nuances. PWM reminds me of pitch, so that's why I use it. But again, you got to train your ears, and it's what it's a personal preference, just like you said.
I mean, I have got my audio set so that I can hear iron, but it's really low in terms of the volume. So I can just hear it in the background. I know it's there. It's important to me to hear it. In fact, I'm going to show you a little find, if that's okay.
Yes, go ahead. Let's see some of those finds.
So the find I'm going to show you first, which I know is just going to be, I'm just talking about iron here and why it's actually really important for me to hear iron. So I'll talk about, this is a site that I'm detecting, which it's become clear has got a Roman farmstead on it. And I know that because the first thing that happened when I got there was I got there in the winter and I was walking the field and I started finding this kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Roman, I mean, could that be any more Roman? Ceramic lying all over the surface of the floor.
Oh,
This is part of a mortarium, which was a big flat dish that would have been used to grind sauces and oils, and it would have had a lip that you then pour out. I mean, honestly, I'll show you thousands and thousands of pieces of Roman just lying on the surface. So I could tell straight away that there was something serious going on this field. And also lots of aggregate, so roof tile and that type of stuff. So I knew there must have been a building here. Well, the reason I was talking about iron, which I think is a really important sound for me when I'm there, is that I can walk that field and it's silent, and then suddenly I start to hear the low sounds of iron, frequent bits of iron. And what it is these. And how am I going to show you these?
Hobnails.
These are hobnails.
Oh, wow.
These are hobnails from hobnail boots from Roman soldiers. So that is effectively a metal stud that was in the bottom of someone's boot. And the Roman soldiers marching was like a big part of their day. So I find hundreds of these hobnails and I dig them because I want to keep them, because I'm actually going to work on a project to reconstruct a sole of a hobnail boot, because I want to feel it and see what it looked like. It's just, I love that find because to me it says there were people here. It also, I can hear with iron. Iron is a sign that people were making things, everyday things, nails, building things. So to me that says habitation. So iron can be a really exciting sound if you're working somewhere where there are great finds.
Right.
So
you're exactly right, Ellie. We do the exact same thing here in the United States. Is we look for the heavy iron concentration to look for old home sites and structures. And where I'm at in the South, and where Michael is too, we there's these massive plantations that had, hundreds and sometimes even thousands of people on them at a time. When you include the enslaved people as well as the plantation owners, soldiers, and all those things that go through these areas. And so that's one of the main things we do is we listen for the iron. But
and you've got to use your machine, but also you've got to use your brain and your eyes and your feet to move around. And you've got to look for other finds, not just the metal. Look for the ceramic. Look for things like plants. Nettles can be an amazing sign.
We do the
lay of the land.
Yeah, because nettles show that's where people were dumping their rubbish, basically things like bone and ash, and lilacs apparently were planted in places where there was a latrine. So it's
we look for daffodils. Do y'all have daffodils?
Daffodils.
Yeah, the daffodils being planted will also indicate where there could have been an old home site. But of course, again, where I'm hunting right now is just a massive 4,000 acre plantation.
Well, I mean, this place where I'm detecting is a farm, is effectively rural farmland now, but I can see that this stuff is sprinkled all over the ground. So the hobnails are one sign, but then I start finding some really serious things. Do you want to see some of them?
Yes, I definitely want to see it. I want to see it too, Ellie. You're doing great.
Okay, let me show you a few things that I found. So I really only find Roman stuff on this site. So this is, as you'll probably recognize, a fibula.
Yes.
Which is the most beautiful. I'm trying to get it so you can see it.
I would love to have a fibula. I'm coming to Europe at some point.
Are you? Oh, you'll have to come and detect in England. Yeah. So this is a Roman brooch. So this would have been used on the left shoulder, that way up, to pin loose fabrics, which was what Roman people wore. You can still see the wire pin here, just part of it, but the most of it's been lost. But effectively, it's like a safety pin. You see the catch there?
Yes, I see it.
And it's an important one. It's a big one, which would have been a man's fibula from probably a military person. So
that was in really great shape. Yeah.
Clues are starting to build. So we've got hobnail boots. We've got a big military important person fibula. Then I found this beautiful object, which is a horse harness mount. I mean, could that look any more Roman? It looks like a shield, doesn't it?
Wow, Ellie, that is so cool.
It actually looks a little bit like my coil.
Yeah.
It's got the most lovely segmented design. It's made of bronze, gave the most banging signal because it's round, and round things, always are, to me, seem to give the best signal. But when I found that, I just fell to my knees. There's some things that just make you fall to your knees, aren't there? And
I have one that is very similar to that one that I found here in the United States.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
I mean, I just thought that was just such a special thing to find. Another one, this one will make you laugh, boys.
What is it?
Well, what does it look like to you, Brian?
Is it somebody's?
I'll tell you what it is. It's a vulva mount.
Oh, wow.
It's a really important symbol for Roman people. It warded off evil spirits. Roman people loved the phallus and the vulva, and they put them all over their clothing and their horse harnesses. So when that came out, that made me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
The actual setting that it's on is shaped like a shield. So that was a very important symbol for military people. So
so that's for evil spirits.
Evil spirits. And that tells us that person was obviously going to war and was fighting and felt they needed protection. And that's a human emotion that we feel too. And I think that's a nice find, because for me it shows a kind of optimistic spirit of someone that's going to do something really difficult, and they feel they need support. So that was a nice find.
Blue R says she thinks that you're making the guys blush.
Oh, come on. It's just a body part. No need to blush. So listen, this one is really funny because this is a scrap bucket find. Okay,
right.
I'm embarrassed to say I put this in my scrap bag because
all of us have done that at some point.
I was tired. I'd had a really tough day. I hadn't found anything good, and this thing came out of the ground, and I thought it's got a horrible sharp thing on it. I thought it's a piece of barbed wire, and it's got it's one of those tags. You know, you get a roll of barbed wire,
Right.
and periodically along the wire, you get a kind of maker's tag.
Right.
I thought I found a bit of bloody barbed wire. I can't believe it. Chucked it in my trash bag. When I got home, I realised this is the most incredibly crafted pin.
Oh wow! Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if you can see how beautiful that is. The shape of it, the swoop of it is just stunning. Well, what that is, it's a 1st century or 2nd century Roman brooch.
Wow.
And it would once have had beautiful decoration on this side, but unfortunately that's no longer there.
Right.
But, you know, just goes to show, check your scrap, people.
Right. Exactly. You know, I've had 2 finds like that where the person that I was hunting with told me to throw that thing away. And I'm glad I did not, because there were 2 pieces that turned out to be very important pieces.
Well, I now routinely wash all my scrap when I get home, because I don't trust myself now. Sometimes you get in that mode, or I haven't found anything today, and then you can't see the good stuff. I want to show you some coins, but I think they're going to be very, very difficult to see. But the Roman coins are really, really beautiful.
What emperor is on that?
That is an empress, and she's called Julia Mamaea.
Okay.
Am I holding it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can make it out.
It's a silver coin. It's really, really a beautiful coin. She's a very beautiful empress, and I love finding things which have a kind of female motif on, obviously, because I'm a woman detectorist. Right. I wish I could show you these coins better. They're very small and they're very sculptural. And I'd love, if you are not already following my YouTube and my Instagram, go on there because you can see some more close-ups of those. But
Ellie, you can send it to my Instagram account, and I'll be glad to share them and then tag you in it as well.
Yeah, sure. You can. You ought to have a look, because they are really beautiful. When you find a Roman coin, the feeling, I cannot describe it. The feeling.
I want one right now, Ellie. Can I just come
unearthing that? You know, something so old, 2,000 years old, and as you move the earth away, Teresa, the year of that is the 2nd century, so in the 100s. That was made in the 100s and dropped by someone then.
So would that be considered a silver denarius? Is that
no? It's not a denarius. It's a smaller coin than a denarius. Okay. I'm not sure what type it is. There were a number of different denominations. I'm not very expert on Roman coins, but I've got a fantastic support with an amazing guy online who works for a London auction house that specialises in really good coins across all the different ages and places, and he knows everything, and he kindly advises me on what my coins are, because he's excited like I am about this site, because it's kicking up some amazing things. I think I've probably found about 60 coins in this one field, and that tells me that there's been a trading probably going on there. Over the months, I've worked out, I think what's happening there, or what was happening there, was that there was a farmstead which was attached to a main villa. I know there was a main villa because it's marked. We have a kind of system in the UK where all the scheduled monuments are marked on a map and anyone can access that. So I can see that the wider context of this field is that there's a really important villa quite close by, within a mile. So the farmstead I'm detecting on quite possibly was a kind of satellite, small farmstead that was serving the big villa and producing grain. And it was quite likely that military people were coming there to buy grain and take their taxes in grain. I think that's why I'm finding so many coins. And these are things I'm learning as I'm going, because I didn't know that before I started detecting that.
Hey, you're just affirming why I wanted you on this show. I mean, because the amount of information that you just spit out is just crazy.
Well, I'm so enthusiastic about it, because every time I go there, my brain kind of sparks. I'm like, hey, I've just worked something out. Like, I've pieced together a piece of information. I can see there's a Roman road running through the field next door as well, which connects this farmstead to that important villa. It's heading in that direction anyway. And, you know, I want to do a video about this, actually, about how to read land, because I think a mistake a lot of detectorists make is to look very closely at maps of their field, and to look at LiDAR, for example, and scroll right in. What can I see? Can I see any footpaths? Can I see any whatever on this land? Right. The mistake, I think where I look at it slightly different as a landscape artist, is I look at the wider context. I look at the setting.
Mhm.
I think what's going on around this place? What's the context of this small piece of land I'm lucky enough to detect on? And that is where I'm getting my clues from that help me work out where to look for great things.
Right.
I'm going to do a video about it because I think it's
those were just some amazing finds. That fibula just blows me away.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone just asked, "What's your favorite thing?" And I think it's probably this. This is, and I'm not sure how I'm going to show you this, but this is a Roman bracelet.
Oh wow!
Wow, cool.
Can you see the detail on it? It's like a ring and dot design, both ends. So I know it's complete. It's really, I mean, there's some amazing things on that bit of land. But that's just one permission, guys. I've got so many good ones, and it really is so exciting. I'm going to show you a couple more things, and then I'll stop banging on about my finds.
Yeah, I love it.
Have you found any Celtic finds?
I haven't, and I'm dreaming, Michael. I'm dreaming of finding a Celtic stater because those coins, the designs on those coins, the animals, the sort of naive style of the art on those coins, I think it's just stunning. Plus, they're quite often gold. I mean, gold. I've only found one piece of gold, and I'm wearing it for you this evening.
Oh wow!
This ring, it fits. Not only does it fit me, but it matches my nail varnish perfectly, and it's gold.
That's nice.
It's a Georgian ring, which I found under my garden path. It had been there for 16 years, and I've been walking over it.
That's so funny.
That's the only bit of gold I found, but gold is the thing, isn't it? Really, really, really like to find more gold. But anyway, it'll come my way. It'll come my way. But
it just goes to show we walk over treasure every day, and we don't even know it.
It's all there. It's all there. This is something really cool that I found as well. This is a medieval candle holder.
Oh wow!
I love this find because
I love stuff I like personal items.
I do. Yeah. I like that. This is someone's lighting. You know, 4 o'clock in the evening, in the afternoon, in the winter. If you didn't have this, you were stuffed in medieval. You know, there's no mod cons. And what's great about this find for me, quite personal to me, is that my dad collects these. So I know a lot about this. I know exactly when it was made. It was made in the 13th century. It was made in Belgium. It was made on the River Mersey, which is a place which used to make all of the domestic lighting kit for Great Britain. So I know exactly where it came from. I even know what this hole was for. I thought it must be for a pin, to pin the candle in place. But it's not. My dad told me it's actually so that when the candle burns down, you can retrieve the dead bit at the bottom. And it's the only way to get it out is to have a hole so that you can poke it out.
Pull it out, right. Exactly. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
What an amazing thing. Found in the side of a hill. You know, someone dropped that and they must have been really annoyed when they got home and realized they
had no light.
Right, and it's actually quite a valuable thing. The only thing is it should have come, it's not broken, but it would have come with a second part, which is a base, a shallow dish that would have gone on the bottom like that. But unfortunately, I didn't find that part. Otherwise, this, I think, would have been worth quite a few £1,000s had I found that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ellie, those are amazing finds. I mean, and just think, you've only been doing this for how long? You said 6 months?
I've been doing this for about 18 months now. But as I was saying to you before, I think I've probably put about 5 years worth of detecting time in, because I've really just fallen in love with this hobby.
You have the perfect background for this already, because I know you told me off camera that your father was an antique dealer, so you sort of have that background or that knowledge already built into you. And then you know, when you go out there and you start finding that stuff yourself, I mean, it's got to be exhilarating too.
It blows me away. But you know, it's funny because someone wrote on my Instagram today, or YouTube, I bet you get a real buzz and I bet your heart's pounding when you find a good thing. And weirdly, I go into this strange, calm zone when I find something really good. I think you don't want to get too excited.
Right.
So you sort of I go into serious mode, right, I found something good here.
That's I'm really excited. And of course, I know you can tell, well, Michael probably's got a little more accent than I do, but when I get really excited, my accent really comes out.
Does it? Yeah, I think there's all these telltale signs when someone's getting really excited. I go quite quiet and I go quite serious, and I'm like, right. I kind of like go, right, I need a plan. Right. I'm gonna just stop for a minute. I'm gonna clean this thing. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna consider it. Because I'm also trying to record it for the video and photograph it.
And I forget everything I'm going to say during the video.
I just sort of stop. I just stop and go stop, because if you get too excited and start rubbing away, you know, particularly things that are made of gold, things that are made of silver, they're quite soft metals. If you start rubbing things, it's effectively tiny particles of rock, you know, and you just leave loads and loads of scratches all over it. So you've got to just stop and just think.
Yeah.
Do you keep everything you find, Ellie? I do at the moment, because my permissions, very kindly, the landowners allow me to keep my collections complete.
Do you not have to file that with the government there, or no?
There's quite a strict rule in the UK, which is that you have to, first of all, you have to have permission wherever you detect, and you have to have permission from the landowner. And so every piece of land in the UK is owned by someone, whether it's the Crown, in other words, the King, or whether it's owned by a private landowner. You have to ask permission. If you find something significant, and there are a number of different things, but it could be, for example, a number of coins in one place would be considered a hoard, or things that are made of certain precious metals, certain proportion of precious metals, even things that have like historical significance. Then what you do, the good practice, and it's the law actually with certain items which might be considered treasure, is that you have to report them to your local fines liaison officer. And they are people who, they represent the British Museum, and they are based all around the country, and they basically collaborate and they collect and record data about the finds that are being made, and loads, as you've probably seen all over the social media. Britain is sprinkled with important historical artifacts, so it's great when people do report them, and I do report things that I find that I think are of historical significance. The only thing I thought might actually be treasure was the gold ring, but it turned out, because it wasn't over 300 years old yet,
you didn't have to.
It's not classified as treasure, so I can keep it. Had it been over 300 years old, a museum may have wanted to buy that thing. If it's classified as treasure, effectively it belongs to the state, it belongs to the Crown. And it doesn't matter where you found it, they own it. And what happens is they put a value on it, and they offer it out to the national museums for the national interest, so that everyone can see that thing and enjoy it. And if the museum feels that it's something that will add to their collection, bring some knowledge to the British public, then they may offer the sum that it's worth to you, and then you share that with the landowner. That's the kind of done thing, is that the finder and the landowner split the prize. But you don't really have any, at that point, you don't have any say whether you get to keep it or not, because it's treasure. It doesn't really belong to you.
So I know recently someone dug like Henry VIII's crown. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Henry VIII's crown?
Yes.
I did not hear that. Where did you see this?
This has probably been about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. Maybe I need to research that.
Yeah, go research it, but they dug it underneath a tree. And
what? How do they know it was his? I mean, this is the thing. It's very difficult to know the provenance. I will have to look that up.
They know it. They know it. I mean, it was all over. It was all over.
Really? Oh, wow. How incredible. No, I missed that, because I've only just done this for 18
really
months.
Cool. But I mean, I know whoever dug that had to give that up. I'm sure.
You have to give it, and that's really difficult. You know, I've been listening to other people talking about their gold finds, and saying and important treasure finds, and saying that, you know, in that moment it's just you and that object. You dig it up, you put your thing in the soil, you scrabble about, you get it out, you hold it. Soon as you hand it over, you're not allowed to look at it. You're not allowed to touch it anymore. When you go back to talk to them about the value of it, they won't let you touch it with your skin, because it could damage it. And you suddenly think, but it was just me and that thing. It was mine for a moment, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's them's the breaks. You know, this is the hobby we're involved in, and in the UK, there's every chance.
Here in the United States, we don't have as strict of a law like what they have in the UK. So, of course, I think I told you off camera that a lot of the stuff that I find, I actually share with the landowner.
Yeah.
Because I like knowing that the history stays where it was found.
Yeah. I mean, I never sell anything that I find.
I never sell anything either. And I do
really
know some people who do. That's all they do. They go out, they find it.
Some people do that for income. Like I personally, I liked the idea, like you, I like the idea of keeping the objects rooted in the context in which they were found, because that's where the meaning is for me. It's where the story is. That's what I'm interested in, because I'm interested in the history. So what I do is I collect everything together in one place, and then I take it to go to show the landowner once a year. Like when I get to see them, I show them, and they're always so fascinated. But no, only one has asked to keep something, and that was a hammered coin, and they really were keen to have it because they wanted to put it in they framed it and they told the story of it, and they took it to the parish council to talk to them about it. So they were delighted, and it was lovely to be able to hand that thing over. It was a hammered coin that looked a bit like this one. I'll show you.
Well, and you and I had a great conversation off camera before we started. There's our hammer coin. Check that hammer coin. How old is that, Ellie?
That is a hammered coin from 1422.
Oh my gosh.
That is a Henry. I wish I could show you properly because it's so beautiful. It's a Henry VI half groat. And if you can see it, but I don't think you'll be able to, the king on there is not a man, he's a boy. He's a little tiny boy. He came to the throne at 9 months old.
Wow.
And it's the most incredible coin. It's got the most beautiful detail both sides. And it was worth 2 pennies in those days, and that would have been half a day's pay for a labourer. So someone probably was quite annoyed that they lost that, but I am very glad to be the person to have found it. And I always promise to look after things when I find them, because I know that they come with a bit of a weight of responsibility for the person that lost it.
So my buddy Rob says, rumor has it there was a cache of vulva brooches nearby where he found his James I.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's been to Colchester. I don't know. How far is Colchester from you?
Colchester's in Essex, and it's a long way. Essex is a really amazing place. I mean, I've been to Colchester Museum and seen the finds there. Absolutely incredible place. And I've been to a dig in Essex as well, where I found absolutely nothing. But it was really an amazing place to go. Essex and that whole corner, the eastern corner. So I'm in the very far west. The very far east is really where there was a lot of kind of movement of people. It's where I believe the UK was originally sort of still attached to Europe, and there was a lot of movement of people back and forth. It's where the sea is the smallest cross between Europe and mainland Britain. So yeah, loads of stuff comes up there, and I'm jealous because where I live is very, very sparse for finds by comparison. But still, I've found some great things, and
you've done amazing. Detective Smile says, I love to think about how the item got to where it was and I was able to find it. That's what you and I talked about off camera before we started the live stream. We were talking about why we love finding these items, and it's just so great to put together a story.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it sends your imagination off into it's part of the fun of it, I think, is the whole imagination of building that story. Of course, we will never know who lost that thing, but you can really use your brain. If you really use your brain, you can actually get to the bottom of what some of these things were. I found a coin, and this isn't it, but it was a similar date. This is a cut half, which is I love the cut halves.
I like any cut coin, period.
Me too. Like, what a cool idea, just cutting money into pieces just because you didn't have.
We did that quite commonly in the colonial period here in the US.
And what a cool, such a great geometric shape anyway. But this coin comes from the 1200s. Okay, so I found a coin like that, but it was a whole coin, and found it on a permission, which is a 13th century church, perimeter walls of a church. And I gave that's the coin I gave away to the landowner. And afterwards I thought I would love to know who that coin belonged to. And I started thinking, I wonder if it's possible to find out who that coin belonged to. And I started researching it, and I realized I think I nailed it. I'm not the exact person, but basically I worked out through a process of timeline that the coin itself was earlier than the church, which means there was nothing here, no houses, no church, nothing when that coin was dropped, which can only mean that coin was dropped by someone who was building the church.
Wow.
So I know that coin was probably dropped by a carpenter or a mason. The church is still there, and I've been inside. It is stunning. It's a simple church, just pure stone walls, whitewashed with wooden pews. Very simple. But all the stone was cut by people that were working there. And that coin probably was earned by one of those people. So that was quite cool, I thought.
Yeah.
Reagan Kendrick wanted to know, what part of the South are these two fellas from? Well, I'm from South Carolina in the United States, and Michael down below is from North Carolina, and we live where there was a lot of early colonial activity between the Brits and the Americans. And so, yeah, we love where we live. We're deeply rooted in history. Of course, it's not as rich as Ellie's history that she's showing.
Oh, no, you mustn't think like that, because everyone's history is rich. You know, it's rich in story, and I think that's the importance. It doesn't matter what the date is. Okay, there's more ancient stuff to find, but I think that, you know, you've got to, the stories are as important. Doesn't matter which era they come from. They're still really important. They connect us to humans before us, and things we leave behind will connect us to humans in the future. It's one long timeline. You know, we're all part of the same planet. So
it's a great story. And you and I were talking about ancestral stuff earlier too, off screen. And that to me is just so intriguing, that you can tie something maybe even to your family or to something from the past like that. And you can build that tapestry of history, putting it all together at the same point.
I agree. And it makes you realize that these are real people, you know, just like us, people who were just doing their thing, looking after their families, doing their job, just getting on the best they can, like us. And it connects us to people.
It does.
The History Digger is asking a question here. Does Ellie find many clipped coins? I think you're referring to the coins. This is like it's quite interesting when you find them. They're hammered coins that have been pure silver. They've been snipped. So you see the edges have these little kind of sharp angles, and it's basically old fraud. It's where people would cut the little bits of silver off the edge, melt it down, and make new coins with the little clippings.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah, it's really quite ingenious, but a bit naughty. I actually love finding things that have that kind of skullduggery about them, you know, little signs that someone...
What did you call it? Skullduggery?
Skullduggery. It's like a kind of, you know, any kind of...
There's just a new word. We need to start using that word.
Skullduggery. It's like the kind of thing pirates do. I actually found haven't found any clipped coins, but I did find signs of that kind of activity going on down here on my coastal permission, where there used to be an ancient port and a pilchard market. And I found a weight. It's made of lead, and on the top, very clearly marked, is a Roman numeral 1. It's not Roman, but it's probably 1700s. It's a weight which would have been used to trade pilchards. Well, I took it home and measured it on my scales. Did it weigh a pound? No, it didn't. It weighed 13 ounces. So it was an ounce off what it should have been. So someone was scamming people.
Somebody was carving it down and taking
the pieces. Someone was saying, would you like a pound of pilchards? And then giving them 13 ounces of pilchards. So, you know, things like that I like. It makes me chuckle, you know, makes me chuckle.
Lou R says, it said it was an amazing find. It's not the whole crown, but it was a figurine, the centerpiece of Henry VIII's crown.
Wow. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I read that article.
Yeah, I must look into that. I mean, they do quite often. They can correlate finds with things like old paintings, because particularly if it's a monarch, because the monarch will have had portraits painted with that object, and so you might be able to correlate the find with a painting, and that's probably as close as you can get to being able to say that belonged to that person. So
we're all laughing. Digging Daryl says he likes how Ellie says quite naughty.
Quite naughty, Daryl. Daryl, you're quite naughty to make that comment.
Skullduggery is a great word. That's a word that I definitely am going to start using, because we know some skullduggery going on right now too.
Oh, there's always someone, isn't there, finding something.
Always someone.
Yeah, there's always someone scamming.
What I want to do is, I mean, I know we're running over, but I do want to share a couple of things, because these guys watch me religiously. And I do want to share a quick video that I did yesterday during the tropical storm, when the rain was just pouring down, and I actually got a break in the clouds. I went out, and Michael knows what this is, and some of you are already going to know what this is. But I'm going to share this quick video that I did out in the field while I was metal detecting. And it's a great find, and you guys are going to love it. So we're going to share that real quick, and you guys will be able to stay in with me too while we do this. So here we go. Guys, we're out here in the woods. They have just mowed back here so I could do a little bit of swinging because it was so full of just shrub brush everywhere. And there's a little creek running right here. But guys, you won't believe, I just found something spectacular down here in the hole. I am using the MindLab Manicore with the M9 coil, and you guys can see it right there. Look at that. A 1774 Spanish half real. And that made my day. It has been pouring down rain, and I've got a little break in the rain, and I was able to come down here. We're using the Manicore with the M9 coil. We had it set up with our custom Ferris limits. We were actually running all-terrain low conductors. And so when you see the video, you'll notice that I didn't start off with the dig, and normally I do. But all-terrain low conductors made this high conductive target sort of bouncy. So it sort of made me question it. Even though the audio was good, the signals were very bouncy, and sometimes it was breaking a little bit. But again, we got us a half real with the MindLab Manicore on the 1700 site. This site, if you look here, all along this tree line over here, as you get towards this field, there was a home site. And this home site dates all the way back to the 1740s, is what we believe. And of course, this just backs this up because this coin has a date of 1774 on it. And we're deep in the woods here, which you can see. The mosquitoes are tearing us up too, but that made our day, and we're glad we were able to get out here and do some detecting. Okay, we'll catch you guys soon.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was an incredible find. Michael has been on this site with me, and I was super excited to find it because I really wasn't expecting that. And of course, the way I had the MindLab machine set up really sort of made that a difficult find, actually, because I had it set on all-terrain low conductors, and that is a high conductive target, and it was bent, which made it even more difficult. I found that beautiful Spanish half real. Now, it's not a Roman fibula though.
That's a cool find, man. Seriously,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm always chuffed to bits to find anything made of silver. I've not found huge amounts, but a coin sounds so good as well. It's just like such a dream when you've been detecting all day and you hear that, you know it's going to be something great, don't you? So
right.
Congratulations to you. I think that's a super duper find.
So Rito Marcella says, hi, Ellie. Last year you posted a video reusing a strap fastener and you showed how it was used. Since then, I have followed your channel as I loved your different approach explaining your finds.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, sometimes I try to reuse things like buckles because I think there must be a really, things like this that I find. I'm like, okay, I want to wear that thing. I'm going to try and make it into a belt.
I mean, if somebody were to find that here in the U.S., that would be like crazy. I mean, we would be like jumping up and down and everything.
Don't worry, I was as well. I love finding buckles. I think buckles, it's those everyday personal objects that somebody wore, I think are really, really interesting to find. So I'm delighted when I find buckles as well. Right. So don't worry, I'm with you on that.
Egan Darrell says, you got to bring Ellie back to the show when she can. Very enjoyable to hear her speak about the history of her life.
Thank you, Darrell. That's really kind. I'm sorry. I could bang on for hours.
There's so many people. Yes, congratulations. The 1700s fine. So when we find something in the 1700s or the 1600s, that's like
that's a serious find. And I mean, as you say, it kind of corroborates what you know about that site or what you believe you know about that site. And now you can really start to layer the information. Okay, well, why was someone in that particular spot? What does that coin represent? Like, what would it have been worth to somebody in that time? What would they have been able to buy with that? What kind of person might have dropped it? You can start to layer it up now.
You can just start to get to all over the place. USN 15 says he just subbed to your channel, Ellie. Loves the video. Good vid.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. buckles and buttons, love finding them. I can dig buckles and buttons all day. I just
All right, me too.
Yeah, a digging dude says skullduggery.
The word of the day, guys. The word of the day.
That big smile says, remember to smash that like button. And again, we appreciate each and every one of you. Real quick, I'm going to add one more thing to the stage. I'm going to put us, let's see if I can get us on here today. Well, wait a minute. Let's see. I'm trying to put us on here with there. Nope, it ain't going to let me do it. Not with all three of us. So anyway, I'll leave you guys on here, and I'm going to add, these are some of the finds from yesterday. Just real quick. Again, these finds are sponsored by Joel at Metal Detecting Buy, Sell, and Trade USA. And if you're looking for anything, XP, MindLab, Garrett, Nata, any of the major companies, Joel can get those things for you. So definitely check Joel out. And again, there's the find from this past weekend, or yesterday, actually, 1774 Spanish half real. And I believe that is King Carlos or Charles III on there. So super fine. Was really excited. I love digging Spanish silver, and those are amazing. Also, I dug a really nice fancy 1700s button. I know Ellie's probably used to seeing 1,000 of these, but
not like that one. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that one just had a ton of design on it. And that was just great to see coming out of the ground, and then cleaning it up and seeing all the design on it, but just a super nice, fancy 1700s button. And then we also dug a really big dandy button. And I know Ellie probably digs a bunch of these over in the UK too.
No, I really don't. I mean, that's a really quite a sizable one, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it's about the size of what we would say $50 here in the United States. But I just wanted to share those, and that video is coming really soon, guys. You guys are going to see all those finds, and we'll have that video up for you this weekend. So again, super great day. I had fun detecting during the tropical storm. Rain was pouring down. Mosquitoes were eating me up. I got bit up by fire ants. Fire ants were tearing me up. Y'all don't have fire ants in the UK, do you, Ellie?
No, we've got mosquitoes, and I got bitten by a horsefly the other day, which wasn't very nice. But it sounds like you've got your work cut out with those.
Oh yeah. It's crazy stuff. But again, those were just some of those finds, and that video is coming really soon. And we wanted to share some of those finds with you guys. And you know, we just had a fantastic day. And one more thing too, we had already hunted this site before, but they had mowed it down a little bit to where I could get into some areas that I hadn't been able to get into, and really made it very easy to detect. So that was super fun to do. So again, Don't Tread on Me says, thank you so much. Don't Tread on Me. Digging Dude says, beautiful half real. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Digging Dude wants to know if I'm giving away a free trip to England tonight, or Michael's knife. So there's a running joke, Ellie, which you don't know about, but Michael, I was supposed to give Michael a knife, an XP knife, and he hasn't gotten it yet, even though he's been down here a few times. And so they keep reminding me that I owe Michael a knife, and that's what it's about. So anyway, really good. Lou R says, really enjoyed this live. Thank you so much. So good to see Ellie's incredible finds, and love how passionate she is about this amazing hobby. She's awesome. And I just appreciate her taking her time out tonight. And I know it's late, and we're getting ready to let her go very soon. The Take Big Smile says, it's never hunted out. Steve Shepard says, this was a great show. And as always, a great show. Thank you, Workman's Adventure. Always appreciate your support. The Take Big Smile says, great show. I'm so glad I had the time to get on. And we appreciate you, Detect Big Smile. We appreciate you being on here. Ellie does, and we're gonna have to talk to XP for Ellie.
I was thinking, actually, I quite fancy one of those XP shirts.
Ellie, you like this?
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one I saw. What size is it, though, Brian? I don't want to.
All of my sizes are big boy sizes. Ellie,
I'm
you're not
getting adjusted.
you're not in the big boy size, but I'm going to see what I can do for you.
Oh,
Like I
don't
said,
cry.
yes,
I did. I saw that the other day and thought I'd fancy that batch.
Yes, I will definitely take care of you some way, somehow. And Digging Daryl wants to get you one of those remote control holders too. And we'll definitely do
They're
that.
great. She'll like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I'm going to like that a lot.
You would
great.
love that a lot. Digging Dude says, thanks, Ellie. Cheers.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
watching.
Great show as usual. Teresa says, great show, guys. We appreciate you, Teresa. Thank you so much. Chris says, thanks, Ellie, for being on the show. He said, you are awesome.
Thanks, Chris.
And, yes, an awesome show tonight, Chris said. Detective Smile says, she needs a hoodie.
Oh, stop. You're gonna get them into trouble with them. I need the full works. I have to talk to my team because I'm part of a team here in the UK. So maybe I'll ask them if I can get anything.
Well, we've got some wonderful people. DCM, thank you so much for your support tonight. Those donations go straight back into the channel and help us bring great guests like Ellie on here tonight. And again, it pays for our cameras, our streaming service, and all those other things which make all of this possible. Johnny Rum, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And he says that $5 is
yes, helping you sort out my t-shirt.
Yes.
Rum.
We're going to share this video with XP, so we're going to see what we can do there for you as well. Nose Digging says thumbs up to everybody, and don't forget the backpack. Ellie, do you have a backpack?
No need for that because look.
Oh, Ellie.
I got one the other day. I haven't used it yet. I'm really excited about it.
Is it the 240 or the 280?
I got the 240 because it's already half as big as me, and the other one's even bigger. So I think this one looks good. Awesome. Snap.
Yes.
You've got the big one. I got the big one. Yeah.
I got both of those.
Yeah. So Michael's got both of them.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's a couple of people going over there subscribing to your channel, Ellie.
Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Be good to have you there.
Great show, Ellie. Thank you for sharing. Ellie did a wonderful job. Dirt Devil Detective, and he ordered up his remote control holder. Scott says, thanks so much for the show tonight. Joe Dirt says she was a great guest. And I knew she would be. I mean, look, guys, I look for quality, and this lady is quality right here. And again, that's why I wanted her on here. Again, they said the backpack is great. DC Diggins said he just subscribed to your channel, Ellie. So they're going to be checking you out. DS Melody says Ellie made me homesick for Kent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, Joe Dirt says she was a great guest. So DC Diggins says again, subscribe to Ellie's channel. So we are helping you out. Great show. David Frazier said. Lou R says just subscribe to your channel. Appreciate that, Lou R. We try to bring quality guests, people that can bring informative information and that are going to be great for all of our viewers too as well. And hopefully the people over in the UK will appreciate Ellie as well. And we're super excited that she took the time out. Trevor Van Horn says that he just subscribed as well. Ellie.
Thank you.
That's and really great. Doug Atkins says he subscribed. And again, we are super excited that you came on with us tonight. Yeah. Ellie, we're gonna do one more thing, because I don't do these without doing a giveaway. And these guys have hung on for almost an hour and a half, and you've hung on for an hour and a half. So we're going to do, Ferris Grump says he just subbed too, Ellie. So you're getting
thank you, Ferris Grump.
Right. And he's from North Carolina. But we are going to give away one of these T-shirts tonight. And we've got a double XL for our members tonight and for our subscribers tonight. And we're going to give away a double XL Deus 2 T-shirt Teresa says, this just went too fast. It did go, really went by fast. Did it not, Michael?
Yeah, it really did.
Yes. Edward G wants to know what's Ellie's channel again. If you want to know, here it is right here. Miss Detectorist UK. Go check her out on YouTube. You can also find her on Instagram as well. Go check out her channel. Super content. She does a fantastic job. Very knowledgeable. And we're really blessed to have her on here with us tonight. So we're going to do a quick giveaway, Ellie, and then we're going to let you go because I know you're ready for bed.
I've got my pajamas on under here.
Yeah,
I haven't really.
Are you going to Tetton tomorrow?
I'm going on Sunday. I'm going as part of my club to a dig on Sunday. Should be really, really cool.
Okay. All right. Well, that's so are you going to one of your you're going on a club permission. So what's that going to be like?
Well, it's a coastal permission with really ancient history all around. So but it's going to be stubble, and stubble can be a bit hard on the legs. So I'm not sure what the condition is. It's okay once it's rained, a couple of times, but it's been very dry here, so stubble can be quite sharp.
The stubble is pretty rough for you guys.
Pretty rough, yeah. So I think I'm going to probably wear welly boots for that one because I don't want to get.
I would too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all call boots wellies, right? Is that?
Yeah, wellies. Yeah.
Wellies.
What do you call them? Gum boots.
No, we just call them boots.
We
don't call them anything. And so I have a neighbor from the United Kingdom. She lives up north, and she lived, I think, not far from Hadrian's Wall.
Oh, really? Okay.
But anyway, I love how she calls the garage. She calls it the garage.
Garage, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's so funny. But anyway, we're going to do a giveaway because, again, these guys have hung on this long and they've enjoyed seeing you. And we want to make sure we reward them for being here tonight. We're going to give away a Deus 2 t-shirt, XX. And again, these run small. So if you're an extra large, the XX is going to fit you just perfect. Will it not, Michael?
Yeah, it would get one size up.
Yeah, you want to go one size up. Apparently, the French are very small people.
Right.
They're not big like Michael and I. So we're gonna go through this, and we're going to share this screen. Give me a second here, and let's share our screen, giveaway tool, and hopefully this will work. We had some problems last time, didn't we, Michael?
Yeah.
So we're going to start collecting comments. Type in hashtag Deus2. And there we go. We'll see. There we go. There's all three of us. I need to take every G's comment off of here so we can see everybody. And it's not collecting again, Michael. What's wrong with this thing? Now, there it is. It popped up.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, it's going.
There we go. We got 64 people in here tonight watching this show, which I know that doesn't sound like much, Ellie, but the replay will get.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get a lot of views. So we're extremely excited to have this many people in here with us tonight. And we appreciate you. Daredevil Detective says he sent me a text. But we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in tonight and being on here with Ellie and with Michael. And we are so excited about having her on. And maybe, Ellie, you could come back later on and tell us what you've learned, what you found, some other things too, maybe.
Sure, I'll come back.
Absolutely. If you're willing to stay up late again and
yeah, for sure.
And deal with this crowd.
Yeah, it's been lovely. It's been a real honor to be here. So thank you very much, everyone, for having me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just Deus 2. That's it. Steve said no space between the Deus and the 2. So yeah, they're all correcting each other. Again, if you win, please send me your address. Make sure that you send it to, and I'm going to put my address up here. It is sransc@gmail.com. And we'll get your Deus 2 t-shirt. And those are hard to find, believe it or not. But we're going to get Ellie one of those t-shirts too, for sure.
I'm a winner.
Yeah, you're definitely a winner for sure, Ellie. We can't thank you enough. We're going to give everybody enough time. We got 39 entries. We got 64 people and only 39 entries. Come on, guys. I know there's more people. Bobby Short says, thanks for your time, Ellie. He appreciates you being here tonight.
You're welcome, Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Yes. Ben Bob says, Ellie Recovery Services. There you go.
Trash recovery services, more normally.
We got a lot of people. Doug Atkins says, thank you, Ellie, for being here tonight.
Oh, thank you, Doug.
Ferris Grump says he won last time. Yes, Ferris Grump did. We appreciate him. We got 40 people. We're going to run for just a few more minutes. Ellie, is there anything else you'd like to share with the U.S. audience while we got you on here? Anything else you want to tell them about? Anything you got coming up?
Anything I've got coming up? Well, I'm going to be going to 2 big festivals in the next couple of weeks. One is in Wiltshire. It's called RCM, and it's a big charity dig. And then after that, I'm going to Detectable, which if any of you guys are coming over to the UK anytime, you must try to come for one of these big events. They're really good fun. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to meet my team at LP Metal Detecting, which is a big UK company that I work with. And going to meet the team that I've met online but haven't met them in person. We're going to detect together. I'm going to detect with some of my YouTube heroes. Digger Dan is one of them, and it's going to be really cool. So that's what's coming up for me in the next couple of weeks.
I like Ferris Grump's comment. He says Ellie can come to the States and dig modern coins.
I'm happy with 1800s coins. Believe you me, I love finding an 1800s coin. The only problem is here they're rather ruined because the soil's quite acidic where I live, so they come out really crusty and not very good. So if you can find me a silver coin, I'd love to come.
Oh yeah. Well, Ellie, if you're ever down this way, you're more than welcome to come out.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to come. Traveling is one of the greatest things about this whole thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sodfather says he could listen to your stories all day long, Ellie. And I could
I can talk all day long. Don't worry about that.
I love it. That's so perfect. All right, we got 41. So we're getting ready to cut this off, guys. We got 65 people in here right now. So we're climbing and we're making our rounds up. So a lot of people really enjoyed the show tonight. And Ellie, we can't thank you enough. We're going to do this drawing real quick. And let's see who's going to win. We got 41 in here. Good luck, everyone. And thank you again, Ellie. Let's do this drawing. So here we go. The drawing has begun. And we're going to see who's going to be our lucky winner tonight. Old Pelon. Old Pelon. Very well done, Pelon. Definitely send me your address. I think he's actually won something on here before. So, Old Pelon, send me your address. You can send it to sransc@gmail.com, and we will get you your Deus 2 t-shirt out. Congratulations, Old Pelon. And congratulations to Ellie tonight. Ellie, we appreciate you. Thank you for taking your time.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for welcoming me. It's been great.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful time.
Staying up late tonight really shows your passion and your dedication to the hobby and dedication to the metal detecting community. We really appreciate you so much. And we'll be in touch really soon. And again, we would love to have you back on maybe in the next few months, and you can share some more things that you've discovered.
Hopefully, I'll have some more things to share. I'd love to come back. Thank you very much for the big welcome, everyone. It's been really fun.
Oh, yes. It's been a great fun. We really, really appreciated you. So, guys, again, go follow Miss Detectorist UK on YouTube and Instagram. She's one of our favorites. I think she'll be one of yours too as well. Go check her out. You guys will enjoy her channel. Very knowledgeable, sharing her adventures. She does a great job of filming too, by the way, too, guys. Probably better than I do. I can already tell you that. I know she does.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Yeah, she does a great job of filming. She loves showing her environment too, everything that's around her, which is something that I really enjoy. I love feeling immersed in where you're detecting, like that last one where you went out into the creek and you showed everything around you. That was just beautiful.
Yeah, it was such an amazing place, and under the water and the sounds. Yeah.
Well, it reminded me of a fairy garden almost. You know,
it's like Lord of the Rings. That place. It's just
it was. It
really
was amazing. So cool. But go check out her videos. I think you'll find it very informative, very entertaining. She does a fantastic job, and we're so glad that she came on with us tonight. But we're going to get out of here. We've been on here for an hour and 40. That's plenty of time. And we appreciate each and every one of you taking your time out of your night to join in with us tonight. We really appreciate every one of you. Thank y'all so much. You guys are amazing. And we do this for all of you guys, for you guys to come on here and enjoy it. We are the No Drama channel for sure. And we love bringing metal detecting to life through people like Ellie and over in the UK. She does a fantastic job. Thank you so much, Ellie. And you guys,
thank you, Ellie.
We will catch every one of you on our next adventure. Ellie, hang out with us for just 1 second.
Sure, no worries.
And then we'll be out of here. All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Go out and find amazing things. And let us know what you find. And we'll be back next weekend with Excalibur shovels. Casey from Excalibur is going to be on here with us. You guys are not going to want to miss that show. It's going to be a great one too as well. And we appreciate Casey taking his time to be on with us. So you guys have a great night. Take care, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys.
Good night, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Good night,
Cheers.
guys.
Bye.